I'm Pat Mayo, and over the next hour, I'll guide you through all the transactions since the Super Bowl that will shape the upcoming NFL season. And you'd really have to appreciate that it would take quite a performance to bump playoff anything off the top. But last night, at Camden Yards, Josh Hamilton had something special in store for the Orioles. Moving away from football, the Raptors are at the ACC hosting the Derrick Roseless Bulls. The reigning MVP has missed the last 4 games with a groin injury, but it hasn't slowed Chicago in the least. The Bulls are 10-4 without Rose and won 3 of their last 4. If you thought rookie Trevor Bayne winning last year's Daytona 500 was the apex of NASCAR enjoyment, you were sorely mistaken. After rain pushed the 54th running of the Great American Race from Sunday afternoon to its first ever primetime appearance Monday night, expectations were high. The drivers, they were fired up, literally. The East has been building to a clash between its 2 superpowers. If this were the 60s, a Soviet-America comparison would be in order. But thankfully, the communist threat has been extinguished. Because of that, we're able to have a free-flowing, independent exchange of ideas on who will emerge. Brandon Spring probes the panel for a verdict. Now, it wasn't just the Leafs in action last night. Just wrap your mind around that for a second. There were actually 12 other games on the ice, including a Western showdown in Vancouver, where the Canucks battled the Oilers looking to gain ground on the idle Red Wings. And they couldn't have asked for a better opponent. The Oil have dropped 12 of 16 at Rogers Arena. As you can tell by my tan, the southern weather has already traveled north. In just over a week's time, a full Blue Jays squad will join it. There's only 25 roster spots available, making spring training's final days proving time for those teetering between the big club and AAA. Kyle Drabek trying to crack the Jays rotation, taking on the Orioles, making his second start of the spring. Drabek goes 3 1/3, giving up 2 runs on 3 hits while striking out 3. Top 3 tied at once. JP Arancibia gets all of the offering over the left field fence, a solo blast. It's 2-1 Blue Jays. Kobe Bryant's had over 30 points in both games in the series. Here he drops 3 of his 22. Lakers down 16 at half. Early in the third, Ramon Sessions slicing through the D and posterizes Kenneth Faried. Once trailing by 24 points, the Lakers down just 7 through 3. Fourth quarter, and that's not good because Nicholas Cromwell blasted on net. Yuri Hoodler camped out in front using his big butt, Thomas Holmstrom style, getting a stick on it. They will review this one, but somehow this goal stands. It's his first of the postseason. Game is all tied. 5-time Sprint Cup champion Jimmy Johnson gets clipped by Elliott Sadler, and then he gets cranked by David Rankin. Johnson's night would come to an end. He hasn't finished higher than 27th place since winning in 2006. This week's PGA Tour stop at the Humana Challenge provided the first wild finish of 2012. John Mallinger stormed out of the gate with a sizzling front 932. Last week's winner Wagner Johnson posted a final round 65, and long bomber Robert Garrigus had a putt for eagle on 18 for the win. All 3 held the lead at one point Sunday, but none would walk away a winner. No, the Bob Hope Memorial Trophy was presented to Mark Wilson.
Putter blade behind the ball. This for birdie here at the 18th hole to go 24 under. Left hand low. Pulls the trigger, making its way towards the cup. Is he a winner? Yes!
With that putt, Wilson claimed his 3rd PGA victory in the last 12 months, more than any other player on tour. But despite his accomplishments, Wilson remains a relative unknown outside golfing circles, and with good cause. Success wasn't instantaneous. After turning pro in 1997, the Wisconsin native jumped between PGA and nationwide tours for 10 years, needing to earn his tour card through Q School 3 times over that period. But in 2007, Wilson finally broke through, winning the Honda Classic in a playoff for the first of his now 5 PGA victories. And there's a common denominator in the 5 wins. They've all come before March 5th. Wilson attributes the winter break at season's end for his hot starts, something he's still trying to harness over an entire season.
The last 2 years, I've really just had a clear mind and really focused on what I'm doing, not worrying about my standing in the world ranking or my standing in the money list or FedEx Cup or how I'm doing against the other players that week. I feel like I'm more into my own zone. So I've altered my schedule this year with a 2 and a 3 week break in the middle of the season to try to simulate that, and we'll see how that works.
Now sitting 40th in the world rankings, Wilson has an opportunity to compete on golf's biggest stages. And after earning a berth in next month's World Match Play Championships and an invitation to his first ever Masters, Wilson knows success at either one of those events can go a long way in securing a berth on his first Ryder Cup team. In La Quinta, California, Pat Mayo, CSM.